So this is the first class, guys. I welcome to all of you. And in today's class, according to the planner which has been given by me, in today's class, what we are going to discuss, this is the annuity, perpetuity, and I will also include here the discounting as well and their types. Guys, remember these all the lectures which I have made here up to annuity, perpetuity to increase in gearing. This is almost on the portal. You can see the 20 to 25 lectures. This is the recap of your previous paper, financial management. Financial management knowledge is necessary, guys. If you people want to excel in the AFM, you cannot say that the financial management knowledge is not applicable in the AFM. That is applicable, but I will not say up to the 100%, up to 30-40% that is applicable, and that we have to cover. That's why you people can see what I have stated here: investment appraisal and recap of financial management. So let's start. As your paper which we are starting today, that is AFM, Advanced Financial Management. So first we have to cover the financial management, and then we will progress towards the advanced level, guys. Guys, whether you people are studying your advanced financial management or you people are studying the financial management, these both exams are about the management of finances. These both papers, I will say, will be making you people that you people will be a good decision makers. In this paper, we people have to apply different appraisal techniques. Different appraisal methods we have to apply. And the appraisal methods which are part of your course, some of them you people have already studied in your financial management paper, but we will recall them, like NPV, payback, then capital rationing, internal rate of return, your discounted payback, then you people have to study in this NPV. You know what is the formula for the NPV? That is present value of inflows minus present value of outflows. Now, to get this present values in your courses, whether you people were in the F9 or in the AFM, different methodologies are applicable, like discounting, annuity, perpetuity. I'll be teaching you guys. In today's class, the first appraisal technique which I am going to teach you people, and again I am saying, this is the recap of your F9, FM. Beside this, there are a lot of topics which we will study and that they will be still relating to your previous exam, financial management. Now, remember guys, for this paper, NPV, I am giving you people this NPV per forma. And Shivani, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Shivani, as you had got exemptions, as you have not studied the financial management, so I am taking everyone from the zero. Okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, guys, this NPV, which is an appraisal method, this NPV is having a performa. And this performa, I will name it NPV performa, and this is the first performa. Because in the AFM level, there is an other performa which we follow. You people will be taking the years, then sales, we will less variable cost, less fixed cost, but which fixed cost? Incremental. Then what we will have? We will be having the taxable cash flows. You people will pay tax. Then we will have tax savings on capital allowances. Then we will have working capital changes. Then initial investments. Then scrap values. Then we will have the total cash flows. We will apply the discount factors. We will compute the present values and the final answer will be the net present value. Guys, this performa, whenever examiner is asking you the NPV question, so this performa we can apply. But remember, whatever the appraisal methods we people will apply, in all of the appraisal methods, we will put the cash flows, guys. What we will put? Cash flows, not profit. And the second thing, Which cash flows? Only relevant cash flows. Now, sir, what do you mean by cash flows, not profits? And sir, what do you mean by these the relevant cash flows? I am giving you people examples. Now, guys, first of all, the difference between cash flows versus profits. See now, cash flows and profits. In the cash flows, we are taking actual cash paid or received. Whereas, the profits, in the profits, we are applying your accounting measures, you know, accounting standards, and the profits are being calculated on the principle of accruals. The cash flows, they are used in your appraisal techniques, which we are studying in our AFM exam. They are used for financial reporting, guys. Like you have studied your papers of FR, you have studied your papers SBR, strategic business reporting. Why we are using the cash flows in our appraisal methods, guys? Because they are difficult to manipulate. Difficult to manipulate. You know, here, many times, once the directors, the employees, they have to gain some bonuses. So what they do? You have listened a word name as window dressing. What they can do? They can increase the sales, they can decrease the cost so that the profits elements will be higher and they may get the bonuses. So, what you people have to remember, guys, in your appraisal techniques, we will always put the cash flows. The profits are not usable in your AFM exams, guys. The cash flows. The cash flows are relevant. But which cash flows? Relevant cash flows. Now, this is important. Relevant cash flow is it that cash flow which is incremental? Number one. Number two, directly related with project and incurred in future. Now let us suppose I am giving you example. What is a relevant cash flows? We are saying a company is considering a project, and for that project, the company requires a new machine. Now, for this new machine, examiner is telling you some points. Examiner is telling you purchase cost. That is, let us suppose 500,000. Its installation cost. That is 50,000. Then we have been given existing warehouse rental income foregone. Rental income foregone. That is 30,000 per year. Head office allocated overhead cost. Please keep muted. Head office allocated overheads that are 20,000 per year. Then scrap value of the machine that has been given 80,000. Examiner is asking you people, what are the relevant cash flows? What are the relevant cash flows? Now try to understand, guys. You know, I told you people for the relevant cost, the definition is that should be the incremental, that should be directly related with the project, that is incurred in future. As you are going to buy a new machine, and with the help of this machine, let us suppose we are going to start a project name as ABC project. Now, guys, this cost of the machine is incurred directly relating with this project. Why? Because if you will not start the project, we do not need that machine. This machine is directly related. Once we are starting this project, we have to incur this expense of 500,000. So this is fulfilling the definition of the relevant cost. The 500,000 is the relevant cost. In the same way, installation charges, that is also a relevant cost. Why we are installing? Because it is an incremental. We have to spend extra money. This is directly relating with the ABC project. Once we have to start the ABC project, we have to install this machine. And once we are starting this project, this installation charges we have to incur in future. So this is also irrelevant. Now, rental income foregone. Guys, remember, in your relevant cash flows technique, there's a criteria which is known as opportunity cost. What is this opportunity cost? We are saying rental income foregone. It's mean that previously we were having this rental income. Now, due to the existence of this ABC project and this machine which is required, this income will be foregone. So this become the opportunity cost for ABC project. Opportunity cost mean this will be now shifted from my previous to the existing one. The rental income which I was previously having from somewhere else, due to the existence of this ABC project, that is no more. For this project, that opportunity cost will be relevant. Opportunity cost is always relevant, guys. This is always a relevant cost. Now, head office allocated overheads. Now, what are the allocated overheads, guys? Can you people tell me? Allocated overheads example. Example. Rent of head office. We are saying rent of head office. Now try to understand. Guys, whether you are starting this ABC project, you are buying this machine or not, this head office rent we have to bear, because this company is going to start this ABC project. This is a new project, but definitely this company is already doing some business. So already the company is paying this head office rent. This is not dependent on the installation or on the ABC project. This rent the company is already paying. This rent is not dependent on the startup of the ABC project. So that is a sunk cost, guys. That is a past cost. This allocated overheads cost, the past cost, they are always the irrelevant cost. They are always the irrelevant cost, the past cost, the sunk cost. For example, this company was doing some research and development projects. This company was doing some research and development. This work is a past cost. The past cost, they are never ever become the part of your NPV performance. The scrap value is again, once you have installed the machine, purchased the machine, due to the existence of this new project that is directly related, you will receive in future incremental. So that is also a relevant cost. So if I summarize, guys, if I summarize how many cash flows will be relevant, can you people tell me? 500, 50,000, 30,000, and the 80,000. This 20,000 is a past cost, sunk cost, allocated overhead. This is not dependent on the startup of this new project. This the company is already doing. So that is a past cost, sunk cost. They are always irrelevant. So this 500, 50, 30, and 80, where we will show in the NPV performance. And this is the NPV performa, which is in front of you. And this is again, I am saying the basics. I am treating you people like everyone. You people do not know anything about your financial management even. I am taking you people from zero, guys. Now let's start this first appraisal technique, present value of inflows minus present value of outflows. Let's have some basic level examples. Shivani, are you getting something?
Yes, sir.
Anam, are you getting? Kundai, Serbia.
Yes, same.
Okay. Now, for example, I am saying that this is Mr. B, and this Mr. B is holding, let us suppose, dollar 500, or in a simple way, dollar 5,000 in its hands. Now, Mr. B wants to invest them. Let us suppose Mr. A is going to start, or Mr. B, ABC project. And this project will last for 3 years. Year 1, 2, 3. So he will, let us suppose, invest. The cash flows will be negative 5,000. Then every year, let us suppose he is getting 1,000, 3,000, and the 8,000. Now try to understand. This 5,000 Mr. B is holding today. So we will name it as present value. But these values he will get after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years. So we name them as future values. Now, Mr. A, or sorry, Mr. B is very worried, and he wants to know, he's in a kind of dilemma situations, that how he can apply any technique, and that technique will help him to finalize that whether he should invest 5,000 or not. So the NPV was there. NPV said, sir, I am available, I will help you. NPV said, sir, apply the formula present value of inflows minus present value of outflows. If your answer is coming as a positive, accept the project. If your answer is coming as a negative, reject. So you see, this is the present value already. Outflow is how much? 5,000. What about the inflows? The inflows are in the future terms. So first we are going to learn how we will convert your future values into the present values. Guys, you people can apply the different methodologies, like we can apply discounting, we can apply annuity, we can apply perpetuity. In the discounting, we will utilize the discount factors. In the annuity, we will apply the annuity factors. In the perpetuities, we will apply the perpetuity factors. The discount factor and the annuity factor, their formulas are also given to you people in your exam formula sheets. But I am writing them. Discount factor is having a formula 1 plus r raised to power minus n. Annuity factor is having a formula 1 minus 1 plus r raised to power minus n over r. And perpetuity factor is having a formula 1 over r. And in your course, guys, this annuity is having its types: simple annuity, delayed annuity, advanced annuity. In the same way, perpetuity is having a formula and their types as well: simple, delayed, advanced. And there are one more types, which is delayed annuity with growth. And here, delayed perpetuity with growth. So, first, we are applying this. In each of the formulas which I have written down, they are for the simple, guys. Simple annuity, simple perpetuity. Now, in this formulas, n represents the number of years and r represents your cost of capital. The cost of capital, again, that is a very major topic of your paper, which we will cover. It is named as WACC, weighted average cost of capital. Very important topic. But for the time being, what we are assuming that your R is the 10%. And what is the method for future values to present value? Like you are applying the discounting, take the future value, multiply by an discount factor. Here, take the future value, multiply by entity factor. Take the future value, multiply by perpetuity factor. Now, let us apply, guys. In this question, let us suppose we have been given the discount factor as 10%. Can you people tell me what is the discount factor formula? 1 plus r raised to power minus n. So apply for year 1, for year 2, for year 3. 1.1 raised to power minus 1, 1.1 raised to power minus 2, and 1.1 raised to power minus 3. So tell me, what are your discount factors coming, guys? For year 1,
Uh, for year 1, 0.909.
point,
909.
then 0.826, 0.751. I will be telling you people that how you people can apply these factors on the spreadsheets very easily in the coming days. So, can you people tell me what are the final answers? I think this is coming as 909. What is this answer? And year 0 discount factor is always 1, guys. So this will be negative 5,000. Okay. So what is this? The final answer coming. 300 into 0.826, guys. Anam, please try to participate. And who is this online from the iPhone? Please change it to your original name. Shivani,
Okay,
please tell me the calculations. Please tell me the answers, guys. Hurry up.
for year 2, 2.479.
2,
2479.
and for the year 3,
6008.
now add up the figures from here to here. What is the present value of inflows coming?
Four 396.
4396.
The NPV.
No. This first from year 1 to 3. How much is the total?
Okay, it's 9396.
9396. So 9396. Take the difference. How much is the NPV coming?
4396.
So as the NPV is coming as positive, what we will say? Accept it. So this was the first appraisal technique which I have shown you people here. Any issue, guys, before I move on? Let me know. Anyone in the class? Anam, Chimbarzui, Kondai, Rakwal, Shivani. and Miss Zenith, please, so that we can start your next agenda, which is the annuity, guys, because it is the recap of the financial management. Yes, any issue, guys? Should we move on?
Yes, sir.
Zenith, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Zenith, where you from? Botswana?
Yes.
Okay, Zenith. Now, guys, annuity. Annuity, I told you people the 4 types, but first we will discuss the third and then the fourth will be understandable. First one is your simple annuity, guys. Then delayed annuity. Then advanced annuity. And then delayed with growth. And on this delayed with growth, examiner had tested from you people a full question, and the question name was Seal Island. First of all, what is the definition of the annuity, guys? For the annuity, there must be constant cash flows and time period also constant. I am giving you people some basic examples. You people are saying you have years 1, 2, 3 up to 50. Or let us make it more simple, up to 10. The cash flows are, let us suppose, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Examiner is asking, calculate the present value. Now see, guys, this present value you can find, like, to get the present value, one criteria is that you people can apply the discount factors. Or the other technique is very easy, just apply the annuity. Annuity factors. Now, let us suppose, guys, you are going to apply the discount factor and you have been given the data for how many years? Year 1 to 10. So each year discount factor you will calculate. Each year discount factor we will calculate. That will be a very time consuming exercise. In the exam, you people have to save time. Once your cash flows are constant, your time period is constant. Instead of applying this discount factor, apply the annuity factor, because discount factor is for a single year and annuity factor we apply for collective years. So 1 minus 1.1 raised to power minus 10 over 0.10. Please tell me, what is the annuity factor coming at 10% for 10 years? Hurry up, guys. I need the answer, guys. I need the answers. What is the annuity factor? 6.145. Shivani is telling 6.145. So annuity factor multiply the cash flow. The cash flow was 2. So what is your present value coming, guys? What is the present value? Shivani, you can speak.
Yes, sir. 12.3.
12.3. But for example, you people in the exam, you people are going to start for every year discount factor. So again, the answer will same, but it is just a wastage of time. Once you are having the constant cash flow at the constant time period, just apply the annuity factor, make your life easy. My question from you guys, let us suppose that the cash flows are here the $5. Now can you apply annuity factor or it can be solved with the discount factor, guys? Please tell me. Tell me. Guys, let me know. Now, it can be annuity factor or anyone who can tell me, guys. I have changed the cash flows. Guys, simple. Now the cash flows are not constant. The 5 is changing. Otherwise, they are 2. So now it can only be solved with the discount factors. But as we are taking the annuity, so again I am making this as $2. Any issue, guys, up to now before I move towards the delayed and advanced annuities? Please tell me. Any issue, guys? Any issue to
No,
anyone?
sir.
Everyone clear? Simon, how are
No.
you, brother? Yes, Kundai, clear?
Yeah, no issue. Yeah.
Anam, clear? Raquel, are you clear? Simon, Shivani, Zenat. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, guys, what is the delayed annuity? The first definition is the same, that the constant cash flows are there. The second definition is same. The time period is the constant. But there is a third definition. What is that? First cash flow starts after year 1. That is very important. Now, I am giving you people the delayed annuity examples. Let us suppose, guys, you people are having years 1, 2, 3, 4, and up to 10. The cash flows, they are starting now from third year, 20, 20, 20. Now see, this is not a normal annuity because the first cash flow is starting after year 1. It is the year 3. So if you people have to compute the present value, in such case, You will take cash flow into annuity factor into discount factor of previous years. Like, this is one example. In the other example, we are saying years are year 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 8. Now the first cash flow is starting from year 2. 20, 20, 20, 20. Try to understand. In the first example, what is the cash flow, guys? 20. Annuity factor for how many years? 3, 4, up to 10. How many years are this? Please count. 8 years? Let us suppose your cost of capital is 10%. Tell me, guys, at 8 years annuity factor at the cost of capital 10%, what will be that? Please tell me. Calculate it.
5.33.
5.33. Now, how you people decide discount factor of previous year? I am making a note here. That year, or that previous year, that last year, from where annuity starts. So guys, in this example, the annuity is starting from which year? Year 3. So this is the previous year. What will be the previous year discount factor? 1.1 raised to power minus 2. It will give you 0.826. And from where we have computed this formula? 1 minus 1.1 raised to power minus 8 over 0.1. And these formulas I have already stated. This one. Discount factors, annuity factors. So what is the answer coming, guys? Please tell. 20 into 5.33 into 0.826.
Sir, 88.
88.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I apply here, so what are the cash flows? 20. But what is the annuity factor here? From year 2 to 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many years annuity factor?
7 years.
And discount factor of which year?
The first year.
First year. Well done, Shivani. So tell me the figures now. Apply the formula. Now it will be 1 minus 1.1 raised to power minus 7 over 0.1. What is the annuity factor coming?
So 4.9.
4.9. And discount factor of year 1, that will be 0.909. So what is the present value coming?
89.
89. So this is the delayed annuity, guys. Anyone? Any issue, guys, up to now? Simon, please tell me, brother, any issue? And again, I am saying your first lectures, they are the recap of your previous paper, F9. So this is the F9 recap is going on, which is as much as necessary for your people to get excel in the AFM. So now advanced annuity, guys. The first definition is same. The second definition is same. But the third one is differentiating your first cash flow in year 0. And this is, you can say, very less tested. But we have to know about it. Let us suppose that you have years 0, 1, 2, 3, and the cash flows are 5, 5, 5, 5. If you have to get the present value, examiner says the formula will be, you will take the cash flows into 1 plus annuity factor. So what will be the 3 years annuity factor, guys? Or hold on. The 7 years annuity factor we have already computed, that is 4.9. So let us suppose that this is the 7 years. So cash flows are 5. The 7 years annuity factors we have already computed 4 point how much? 4.9. One is constant in the formula. So how much is the answer, guys? How much is the answer? Please tell me, guys, how much is the answer? Hello? Can you hear me, guys?
So I have a doubt here.
Yes.
Why did we add 1?
1 is constant in the formula. Once you are talking about the advance annuity, so an advance annuity, 1 is constant in the formula. Okay?
Okay, sir. So I think it is 29.5.
29.5. So this was simple annuity, delayed annuity, advanced annuity. Now the last topic for today, perpetuity. In the perpetuity, again simple perpetuity, advanced, and the delayed. Only the difference between perpetuity and the annuity is the time period. Here, constant cash flows. But the time period, time period in the annuity that was limited. Here the time period is unlimited. Here the first definition is same. Second definition is same. But as the name is showing advance, so what will be the differentiating criteria? First cash flow in year 0. Here, the same criteria, but what is the differentiating criteria? First, cash flow after year 1. Let me show you people my notes. Hold on. So that you people can have an acknowledgement that from where you people will be studying. Let me open the notes. So guys, are you understanding everyone? There are many students present in the class, but like Chumbat say, there's no response from you. I don't know what is happening. Simon, Zenat, are you understanding, guys?
I'm following, sir.
Simon, brother, where you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Okay, so Simon, please text me after the class, okay?
Most definitely, sir.
Okay. Can you people see the notes, guys? Tell me. Can you people see the
Yes,
notes?
sir.
This is the perpetuity.
Yes.
This is simple perpetuity. You know, examiner is saying from year 1 up to perpetuity, you are having the cash flows of 10,000. So cash flows into perpetuity factor. The perpetuity factor is having a formula 1 over R. So R is 10%. Just multiply. You will get the answer. Now, what is this? From year 0 to perpetuity. So what is this definition known as? What is this definition known as? Advanced perpetuity. What is this? Advanced. And in the advanced perpetuity, just in the perpetuity factor, you will add 1. So you can see the same formula, but plus 1. So this is your present value. That's it. And what is this? Delayed perpetuity. Annual cash flows into perpetuity factor into discount factor of preceding period. Now you can see this is starting from year 4 to perpetuity. This is starting from where? Year 4 to perpetuity. You can see. So what is this? 10,000 the cash flow. This is the perpetuity factor. And this 0.751. What is this? Discount factor of last year, preceding year, discount factor of year 3. So this is your final answer. So what we have covered so far, you can see discounting. This is your definitions of investment appraisal, your relevant cash flows, and the types of annuity, perpetuity, and their types. This is the annuity, simple annuity, advanced annuity, and this is your delayed annuity. In tomorrow class, which will be the last class for this week, and then I'll be sharing you people your portals and your for the whole week what you have to cover. So those people who are interested to buy my paid course, please, it's my request, everyone. Our first lectures, they are the recap of your previous paper, financial management. This is the right time and choice, guys, that you people have to start. I'll be sharing with you people